Historical notes. There are no nuclear power stations in Belarus. Of the functioning stations in the territory of the former USSR, the ones closest to Belarus are of the old Soviet-designed RBMK type. To the north, the Ignalinsk station; to the east, the Smolensk station; and to the south, Chernobyl. On April 26, 1986, at 23:58, a series of explosions destroyed the reactor in the building that housed Energy Block Number 4 of the Chernobyl nuclear power station. The catastrophe at Chernobyl became the largest technological disaster of the 20th century. For tiny Belarus, population 10 million, it was a national disaster. During the Second World War, the Nazis destroyed 619 Belarusian villages along with their inhabitants. As a result of Chernobyl, the country lost 485 villages and settlements. Of these, 70 have been forever buried underground. During the war, 1 out of every 4 Belarusians were killed. Today, 1 out of every 5 Belarusians lives on contaminated land. This amounts to 2.1 million people, of whom 700,000 are children. Among the demographic factors responsible for the depopulation of Belarus, radiation is number 1. In the Gomel and Mogilev regions, which suffered the most from Chernobyl, mortality rates exceed birth rates by 20%. As a result of the accident, 50 million Ci of radionuclides were released into the atmosphere. 70% of these descended on Belarus. Fully 23% of its territory is contaminated by cesium-137 radionuclides with a density of over 1 Ci per kilometer squared. Ukraine, on the other hand, has 4.8% of its territory contaminated, and Russia 0.5%. The area of arable land with a density of more than 1 Ci per kilometer squared is over 18 million hectares. 2.4 thousand hectares have been taken out of the agricultural economy. Belarus is a land of forests, but 26% of all forests and a large part of all marshes near the rivers Pripyat, Dnipro, and Sozh are considered part of the radioactive zone. As a result of the perpetual presence of small doses of radiation, the number of people with cancer, mental retardation, neurological disorders, and genetic mutations increases with each year. Chernobyl, Belaruskaya Encyclopedia. On April 29, 1986, instruments recorded high levels of radiation in Poland, Germany, Austria, and Romania. On April 30, in Switzerland and northern Italy. On May 1 and 2, in France, Belgium, the Netherlands, Great Britain, and northern Greece. On May 3, in Israel, Kuwait, and Turkey, gaseous airborne particles traveled around the globe. On May 2, they were registered in Japan. On May 5, in India. On May 5 and 6, in the US and Canada. It took less than a week for Chernobyl to become a problem for the entire world.